Heyo, and what is up, gang? Thank you so much for checking out Sledgehammer TV tonight for your official SmackDown Live review. It is Tuesday, December the 12th, 2017, and I didn't think they could do it. I did not think they were capable of doing it. Coming off of last night's absolutely atrocious Monday Night Raw, I thought for sure SmackDown Live was going to be better. It had got to be better than this, but boy, did they prove me wrong. And we are here to talk about it right here and right now on the newest, fastest wrestling podcast in all of the YouTube wrestling community, the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. So, let's do it.
Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
All right, wrestling fans, thank you so much for joining us here again tonight. My name is Nick Nightmare. Along with me, as always, is my little buddy, my tag team partner, and the world heavyweight champion of microphones, that's Blue the Snowball, and we are here tonight to talk about this absolutely sucktacular edition of SmackDown Live. Are you kidding me? First of all, I don't know what butter chicken is. I have no earthly clue what butter chicken is, what it tastes like, what it looks like, what it smells like, what it might be. It's obviously a preferred cuisine in the area of the world where Jinder Mahal and the Singh midgets hail from. I don't know what it is. I have no friggin' clue. But I can tell you after tonight that I will never put a piece of butter chicken in my mouth. If you are going to use this dish as a description for the stench that is probably emanating from the feet of the modern day garbage raha, then I don't want to eat it. I absolutely don't want to eat it. I was mad enough that they included cheese and garlic, two of my favorite ingredients in most of the foods that I eat. Are you kidding me? 5th grade barbs and jabs, schoolyard BS. This is how we started SmackDown Live tonight. Talking about butter chicken and how Jinder Mahal's feet smell. How much better could it get from there? Holy shit, you guys. Welcome to the review. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. The tag is right there for you guys to spell it out. Go check it out. Go follow me over there to keep in touch with everything we're doing here on the channel. And follow us on Facebook at the Facebook page, Facebook.com/The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Go become a fan over there. This way you can stay on top of everything. As always, if you would be so inclined, I would be ever so gracious if you are new to this channel for you to smack that subscribe button right in the mouth and join the Sledgehammer Club today. That's all you got to do. Hit the subscribe button. Ring the bell if you don't want to miss a thing. If you want to be kept up to date with each and every video, just like this one, as soon as it drops, ring that bell next to the subscribe button, and you will be in tune with everything as soon as it drops. And if you enjoy today's broadcast in any way, smash that thumbs up for me, because we're striving to give you guys satisfaction, because certainly SmackDown did not. What the hell did we just watch tonight? I could outline to you guys everything that made this show a bad show very, very easily. In fact, I was sitting here for about 10 minutes trying to collect my thoughts. I know that I just seen a bad show. I didn't enjoy myself at all watching SmackDown tonight, except for a few of the moments given to us by Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. The saving grace of the show, the only reason for you to get your eyes on there. Absolutely, that is hands down the only thing you missed tonight. If you missed SmackDown Live, you missed Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. It is their show. Everything they say is a fact. But I came into my room and I started to collect my thoughts and started to realize just how bad this show was as I started to list all the things wrong that they did tonight. And it is illustrated in almost each and every instance, every minute of this show. We're going to get into that right now. I love the whole yep movement thing. Don't get me wrong. I thought that was great. Like I said, Zayn and Owens, great. Absolutely great. The matchup, the main event tonight, we will get to that because I have some things to say about that. But this show was very, very bad. First of all, this is your go-home show for a Clash of Champions that I already have no interest in. What's to be excited about? What is there to be excited about? AJ versus Jinder? The possible threat of Jinder Mahal actually winning back the title is not enticing to me. It doesn't make me want to see the Clash of Champions at all. What else is there? The women's match with the lumberjacks all around it? I'll pass on that. The Fatal 4-Way? I was much more looking forward to the one-on-one Gable and Benjamin versus the Usos. I thought that was going to be a show stealer. I thought that would have been one of the only reasons to watch this show. But they ruined that, and they continue to ruin that even further tonight. What else is there to look forward to? The United States Championship? Baron Corbin as the U.S. Champion is lame. Dolph Ziggler has been lame for the past 2 years, and Bobby Roode as a good guy is lame. It's boring. It's run its course already. Bobby Roode needs to be a heel. That's when he is at his most glorious. This good guy Bobby Roode is just nauseating at this point. He looks like a jerk. What is there to look forward to? Tonight on this show you had your United States Champion disqualified and lose 5 days out from his triple threat title defense. You had your women's champion absolutely destroyed. Yes, she won by disqualification due to outside interference, but she was destroyed by 3 green as grass rookies who haven't even earned their place yet on the roster. They don't deserve to be put in that position just yet. Who the hell is Ruby Riott and the Riott Squad? They're nothing. They've been here for a minute. They're dominating like the Shield. Get out of here. Absolutely ridiculous. And then on top of that, you have your Money in the Bank, first ever woman's Money in the Bank contract holder, Carmella, out there to defend the fallen champion and not even take a second to tease the fact that maybe she'll cash in right here and right now. All of a sudden, this threat of 3 just above jobber level females is taking the whole entire roster that has been there, establishing or trying to establish whatever there is of a women's division on SmackDown Live. Now you want this 3 nothings to be seen as a threat, so it takes the whole roster to band together to get them to stop attacking Charlotte Flair. Becky Lynch is off filming a movie. She's the obvious choice to come out and make the save, but she's not there. So who do we put in? Naomi, which really doesn't make much sense outside of the fact that she was the last one that got beat up by the Pigeon Squad. Absolutely atrocious. It doesn't make any sense. You had the best tag team probably in the world right now, definitely the best tag team on the roster. The Usos have been killing it all year long, and they continue to do so every time they have a mic in their hand and every time they step between the ropes. And you have your SmackDown champions lose and get pinned. Get pinned 5 days away from their title of defense at this chump Clash of Champions. The Clash of Champions. Shinsuke Nakamura, booked to lose again. I don't care about the circumstances surrounding why he lost or how he lost, or the involvement of Daniel Bryan. It doesn't matter. The fact is he was booked to lose on national television once again. At some point or another, this guy's got to start winning. This was the most sought-after prospect in NXT. He is the most deadly striker, the deadliest kicker on the WWE's roster. He has got so much potential to be a great star, and you brought him in with a bang. You had him beat John Cena, you had him beat Randy Orton, and then you had him lose to Jinder Mahal, and since then, he's done nothing but been the king of 3 counts, and not in a good way. He keeps getting beaten. He's not being made to look like a dominant figure at all. Why would you be scared of Shinsuke Nakamura at this point? They have ruined him terribly. I understand maybe you're going to say, oh, well, Nick, they're trying to tell a story. You can't always have the good guys win, right? You want to advance the story. The advancement of the story in the main event tonight made no sense. It made no sense. Why you would give Kevin Owens the momentum going into this match where their careers are on the line makes no sense. You are supposed to strip them down to the bare minimum. You are supposed to have them lose and lose and lose so that when that match comes, everybody's just going to expect them to lose again because Kevin Owens can't beat Randy Orton. Sami Zayn can't beat Randy Orton. Neither of them can either beat Shinsuke Nakamura, so they don't have a chance on Sunday, right? Let's build the drama. But no, Kevin Owens is pinning Shinsuke Nakamura. For what reason? Why are they getting the win here? Are they going to lose? Are we going to continue the story that way on Sunday? Owens and Zayn are going to lose and be storyline released from the WWE to be brought back by Daniel Bryan in some way. It may end up being intriguing given the fact that Daniel Bryan is now the special guest referee also. There's going to be 2 special referees for this match. How is that going to work? How is that going to work without conflict between the 2 referees? None of this made sense. Everything that happened tonight just made Clash of Champions look that much worse and didn't make me want to see it any more than I did yesterday. And probably one of the most annoying things on this night would be the fact that nearly every single matchup had somebody sitting on commentary. I don't understand it. I have been saying it, we've been shouting it from the mountaintops on this show for months. I have noticed the trend, and it continues on a weekly basis on both shows. There will be at least 1, if not 2 segments where they have a superstar on commentary, and it's annoying, and it's distracting from the match, and it only gives them that bullshit easy way out, that lazy creative angle where the person on commentary will have an effect on the outcome of the match, which happened in every single match that happened tonight. If you didn't realize it while you were watching, that's why I'm here. Why are we here? We tell you every night. We are here to bring the hammer down when it is needed, and God, do I need a big old sledgehammer to smash SmackDown Live's brains in tonight. I wish the Bludgeon Brothers would go legit insane and take those 2 beautiful hammers they have and just start swinging at WWE Creative in the back. This show was nonsense. Probably the most underwhelming go-home show I've seen all year leading up to any pay-per-view special. Let's get this review over with, because this was an absolutely terrible show. I don't even want to review it with you guys. I really did contemplate not even doing it. But I'm here for you guys because I know that you're interested to hear what I have to say. And I'm sure that as I was ranting just now, you can't disagree with anything I said. Those are all facts that I just stated to you. We speak the truth here. I outlined to you from start to finish all of the glaring, blatant mistakes that were made tonight. Will they continue to go down this road? It certainly looks to be that way. Are you interested in the Clash of Champions this Sunday? I'm not. But we're still going to be here to preview it and review it, no matter how terrible it's shaping up to be. You know, and sometimes, we've said this, we've gone on record before, sometimes these pay-per-views that give me nothing to look forward to and generate zero interest from me sometimes end up being pretty decent shows. So I'm keeping that in the back pocket. That this whole card is so underwhelming to me that it might just end up being a pretty decent show. But that's the best we can hope for. That's what we have to do. We have to sit here and pray for a decent show. This is supposed to be the greatest show on earth. They prove that wrong constantly. They keep offering up shit like we got tonight. This job's going to get harder and harder and harder by the week. I'll tell you that much. Show opened up. We're in Cincinnati. We are still in Ohio. Cincinnati tonight. Home of the Lunatic Fringe, who is not part of the SmackDown roster, so obviously he would not be there tonight. Like I said, this show kicked off. AJ Styles comes out. He's telling everybody how amped up he is for his match with Jinder Mahal. I think he just wants to kind of get this over with. He's soon interrupted by the Sing Midgets, and we have a schoolyard session. AJ is telling them, hey, why don't you guys come hug it out? They're telling him that they're done with Jinder Mahal. AJ sees right through them, as I did, as hopefully all of you did. I hope not one of you were suckered into that bullshit, that nonsense. Terrible. Fifth grade humor does not interest me. Whoever wrote this segment should be fired. This is not why people watch wrestling. This was a complete waste of the World Heavyweight Champion. This was the greatest wrestler you have on the roster. Possibly the greatest wrestler in the world today. And you have him in the middle of the ring to kick off SmackDown Live, verbally jousting, and that's being generous, with the Sing Midgets to bring out Jinder Mahal for absolutely nothing. For nothing. This led to nothing. This didn't add a stipulation. This didn't add intrigue. This just made me want to not watch my favorite wrestler in the world because he's being wasted in this angle with the worst wrestler in the world, Jinder Mahal, and I'm over it, and I'm done with it. This would be followed by a highlight package for the Pigeon Lady, Ruby Riott. Why does she deserve a highlight package? She's been there for 2 weeks. She's had one match. What highlights are we looking at? Why are we trying to make her look awesome? She's not Paige. She's not Paige. She will never be Paige. That whole faction, this whole Riot Squad, is not even close to Absolution, and Absolution is garbage. So why are you wasting everybody's time? This angle, this whole thing was rushed, all for the sake of this Women's Royal Rumble, so they can have an official number, and they can have all these heads to be thrown out of the ring, and we have to suffer for it by having these green rookies, greener than George the Animal Steel's tongue. And they are going to dominate our established and pretty talented wrestling-wise female roster that already exists. Garbage. Charlotte Flair defeats Ruby Riott via disqualification because Natalya was on commentary and the Pigeon Squad was on the outside. So what do you think's going to happen? Of course, Natalya gets involved, gets Ruby Riott disqualified, and that would be the end of the match. Great. Next match would be Dolph Ziggler versus Baron Corbin for some reason. And we would have the exact same outcome as Bobby Roode would come out and be sitting on commentary to add absolutely nothing to the situation except for the cue when he has to get up and interfere and cost Baron Corbin the match. Baron Corbin, your United States champion, loses to Dolph Ziggler, wrestling's Mr. Irrelevant at this point. For what? For what? He should be being made to look like a dominant champion, but he looks like the lame chump that everybody's perceiving him to be. I never looked at Baron Corbin that way. I thought he was going to be great. Especially once he won that Money in the Bank. I thought, all right, here we go. This is it. This kid's going to start making moves. And he did. But the move was a downward spiral. And it's just not interesting to me. If Bobby Roode doesn't win the United States Championship and turn heel as soon as possible, I have no interest in this whole entire angle. The Bludgeon Brothers. See why I hate the name? Because it's hard to even just say when you're trying not to be disrespectful about it, because they're actually starting to grow on me. These little squash matches were the most entertaining facets of SmackDown 2 weeks in a row, just because of the sheer destructive force that they are killing these guys with. I told you guys a couple of weeks ago when this first began that them reverting back to jobbers after dismantling teams like the Hype Bros seems like a step backwards, but this is probably the best place for them right now. It's making them look scarier and scarier by the week. Eventually, some team's going to step up, right? Unfortunately, that team would be the Fashion Police, as we would get a tease. You know, the Fashion Files has now been relegated to the WWE.com section of the world, as they advertise for us to go watch it because it's streaming on the internet now. We're not going to take the time out of SmackDown to show it to you because it's that unimportant to us now. But the Fashion Police are going to challenge the Bludgeon Brothers at Clash of Champions. Of all the teams on the roster, that is the one team that I do not want to see squashed. That's a team with momentum. It's a team people want to see. It's a team people want to see win. But now you are going to feed them to this experiment that is the Bludgeon Brothers. I honestly would have much rathered it been the Ascension. There is so much more of an intrigue to that pairing. Those two teams up against one another interest me because it's power versus power. Here, you're going to have the Bludgeon Brothers versus the jokey comedy antics of the Fashion Police. I tell you guys all the time they can go, but we're not going to see that in this match. We're either going to see them get completely decimated, or they're going to continue to try to perform in that comedy sketch of the night type match, which just doesn't appeal to me. And either way, I think this is a bad idea. I don't think that the Fashion Police have wrestled enough to even be considered a threat to the Bludgeon Brothers at all. So that matchup just doesn't make sense to me. Why it was added to the pay-per-view and not just done tonight? Let us see them actually wrestle instead of giving us 30 seconds of something that you filmed for SmackDown that now you're not going to show on SmackDown. You know, why don't you let us see some more wrestling? Because the wrestling was very lackluster tonight. Definitely not as good as what we got last night on Raw, wrestling-wise. Because the show sucked, but we did have 3 very good matches last night, especially Cesaro and Roman Reigns. Go figure. If you want to hear more about that, you can check out yesterday's Raw review. If you missed it, I will have it linked in the annotations on this video. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn attempt to occupy SmackDown Live. This was the most entertaining segment of the night. They started off the whole show before the AJ and Jinder debacle segment. We saw Kevin and Sami in Daniel Bryan Yes shirt, the maroon one, but they had the S covered with the P. And it said, yep, yep, yep. And they are starting the yep movement because they find themselves to be in a similar situation as Daniel Bryan was. They went on during this segment to try to get the fans on their side, try to get Daniel Bryan to join in the yep movement. Daniel Bryan would come out and address the situation personally. Kevin Owens would make an impassioned plea to him, telling him, listen, we are like you. You know, they don't look at us like the top guy, just like you. They're trying to hold us back, just like they tried to hold you back. And Daniel Bryan was like, whoa, whoa, I am nothing like you. Because unlike what you're doing here, this is all about you. The Yes movement was never about me. It was all about the fans. And Cincinnati, why were you asleep at the beginning of the show? This was a very bad crowd tonight, too. They were not into this show. I don't know if it's because of how bad it actually was, or maybe there's something in the water over there in Cincinnati. Maybe they were all too busy listening to WKRP on their iPhones or whatever. I don't know. But they definitely didn't seem interested. There were some very key moments and key spots where it was almost Daniel Bryan throwing a softball to the crowd. And it was like pulling teeth to get them to chant yes for him, which is never truly the case almost anywhere. So it was very surprising to me. Obviously, they would not be successful in recruiting Daniel Bryan to the cause, and he says that he will remain impartial, and he will insert himself as a second referee in their match, adding himself now with Shane McMahon as the two referees. I don't know how that's going to work. It sounds like it's going to lead to something, and the only thing that makes me interested at all is to see how it plays out. Are Daniel and Shane going to get physical? Are they going to be able to coexist? Is one guy going to be on the outside, one guy going to be on the inside? Is there going to be a double pinfall with the two of them counting 3 at the same time, and Daniel says Kevin wins and Shane says Randy wins? It's going to be one of those things. I don't know. I could have just solved the puzzle right here as I thought about it. But we'll have to see how that plays out. This was the best segment of the night, just based off the mic work of all 3 of the guys involved. And this new heel version of Sami Zayn, I absolutely love it. They remind me so much of those dogs from the Warner Brothers cartoons. You know, the big one and the little one that just hops around them all the time being annoying, like, hey, Spike, what are we going to do today, Spike? Blah, blah, blah. That's what they remind me of. Like a living version of them. And it's super entertaining. Sami Zayn just being all smug and arrogant and smiling and having a good time as Kevin Owens is just tearing everybody down. Sami on the mic has been fantastic in this role. Best moment of the night. Happy Rusev Day to you all, by the way, as we would have Rusev and Aiden English going one-on-one. I always do that. Tag team matches are not one-on-one, but going up against the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos. And I actually am going to give credit, like we say, we give credit where it's due, and the Usos and Rusev and Aiden English were having a hell of a match. Even though we had the New Day sitting in on commentary, obviously they were not really too much of a factor in the outcome of this match. But we also had Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin come out and make their presence known. So there's just this never-ending need to put everybody out there at all times. We have to get everybody out there. I don't understand it. Why we couldn't just have a straight-off one-on-one? Why do we have to hear what the New Day has to say? Why do we have to see them eating pancakes and detracting the commentary throughout the entire tag team match, which was turning out to be pretty good until that ending, when the best team in wrestling was beaten by one of these newer teams? You know, Rusev and Aiden English are getting over just based off of Rusev Day. But I didn't understand the booking of this match. Why would you make the Usos lose? It just doesn't make sense. Are they good? I don't want them to lose the titles this Sunday. Maybe that's why they took the loss tonight, because they're going to end up walking out with the championships. I don't know. They have this weird need to make everything even. Well, we'll give you guys the win this week and you guys the win that week. Why do we have to appease people's ego? You guys run the show. This is how it's going to go. If you don't like it, there's the door, gentlemen. You want to walk out on your contract and breach your contract? Or do you want to go put your fucking tights on and get out there and do what I told you? Because that's how things are supposed to go. Why are we caring about people's feelings? You obviously don't give a shit about Dolph Ziggler's feelings. You don't care about Shinsuke Nakamura's feelings enough to let them win once in a while. You're pulling the trigger on a win for Rusev and Aiden English, who I don't think have won a thing since they've started their pairing, and now they're beating the tag team champions? Where does that make sense to you? Because it doesn't make sense to me. Obviously, it angers me. Just like the main event angered me. But it angered me in a different level. I'm not complaining about the fact that Kevin Owens won. But if you needed Kevin Owens to win in this scenario, then you should have put him up against Randy Orton. You don't put him up against the new guy that you're trying to build and you're trying to establish and you're trying to make look strong. Him actually having Randy Orton out there, although he wasn't on commentary, right? But he was still out there. You had 4 people out there around the ring, and then you had somebody on commentary, which was Daniel Bryan, who you automatically assumed was not going to get involved in any way, just based off of his physical condition, but ended up going and pulling the referee shirt off of an unconscious referee and interject himself as the referee for the finale of this match, counting Shinsuke Nakamura's shoulders to the mat after Sami Zayn would interfere and distract Nakamura just enough for Kevin Owens to land a pop-up powerbomb and get the victory. Further ruining the allure and the mystique and the magic that is Shinsuke Nakamura. Just absolutely throwing it in the trash, because you know what he means to the WWE? Nothing. The way he has been booked this year has been atrocious. If Shinsuke Nakamura one day hopefully lives a nice long life, and maybe he's going to be 80 years old in some rocking chair in Japan somewhere, probably watching some great wrestling, and if he looks back at his career, I'm almost positive he's going to look back at 2017 and think, man, that was the worst year of my career. And the fact that that would be the year that he was called up to the WWE's main roster, and it would coincide with the fact that it would be the worst year of his life, is an absolute injustice to this man. It is a travesty that cannot be rectified. I would not be surprised at all if at this point he's going to do what he's got to do. He's going to perform out his contract and he is going to go home. Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? He would actually probably be better served to go to Ring of Honor for a little while before heading back east, because there's a lot of fans here in the States that appreciate Shinsuke Nakamura for what he's supposed to be. Well, what's he supposed to be? If you're a dumbass and you don't know, and that's what you're thinking when I say that, he's supposed to be what he was on NXT. He's supposed to be a dominant, a intimidating figure. He's supposed to be a champion. Instead, he's just another in a long line of NXT call-up chumps. They're making Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan look more threatening than a Shinsuke Nakamura. You don't see something wrong with that? I see too many things wrong with that, and that's why I'm here. I'm here to enlighten you guys, because if you sat back tonight and thought that SmackDown Live was an okay show, you're crazy. I understand you getting behind Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn because, like I said, they were and continue to be the only really good things on SmackDown Live. And the fact that the WWE has the biggest talent roster that they've ever had, the most talented group of human beings that have ever stepped foot in a wrestling ring ever, and they have been stuck in the worst years creatively that there has ever been in the history of this company, is just absolutely sad. It's so sad. Like, it's just not fair. You know, they had their heights of creativity in the late 90s to the mid 2000s, and then it petered down, and it just keeps going down and down. There's minor little blips, things like Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker, you know, things like NXT that keep us coming back to wrestling at all, because hope is there. Hope for the future is there, but it couldn't come soon enough. It really couldn't come soon enough. This show is terrible. The shape this company in is terrible. And they have the perfect business model to look at, and they refuse to follow it. They just refuse to follow it. And look what they do to everybody they bring up from NXT. Nobody's been made. Nobody's been made. Everybody's just floating around. Look at Finn Balor. He's the clearest example that I could show you. One of the longest reigning, most hard-fighting champions NXT has ever had. Now he's wrestling Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel dead in the middle of the mid-card on Monday Night Raw. We're getting the same kind of shit happening on SmackDown Live. It's happening to Nakamura in the main event, but it doesn't matter where it's happening, and it's killing this company. They are going to drive away everybody. I wouldn't blame them. I'm the biggest WWE fan in the world. If they called me right now, I would definitely think twice before signing my name to anything. Because the shape this company is in is absolutely terrible. Was SmackDown bad? Yep. That's my contribution to the yep movement. Do I want things to get better? Yep. Are they? No. Got a long way to go. The road to WrestleMania is about to begin, coming the end of January. And I'm already not looking forward to it, as 2018 looks to begin the same way we're going to end 2017. We got about 2 weeks left in the year, and I hope you close it out with me so we could start strong for 2018, and maybe we'll have some good wrestling to talk about, although lately that doesn't seem to be the case. That's your SmackDown Live review for tonight, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, do not forget to check the description down below and check out our sponsors, Clutch Chairs. They're somewhere down here. There we go. Right down here. Check them out. The link is in the description below. They got some great WWE chairs. They got some good desks and a lot of good stuff for you guys for your entertainment needs. If your back is a little funny when you're playing video games and maybe you're not comfortable, Clutch Chairs got you covered. They have the best back-fixing chairs you'll ever see. All you got to do is click that link and check them out, and you support this show. Follow me on Twitter. Check us out on Facebook. Don't forget to like this video. Share this video with anybody that you think would enjoy some great wrestling content and might join the club over here. And as always, if you are not a member, hit that subscribe button right now. Why not? Do it right now. Look, subscribe. Boop. That's all you had to do. It was that easy. And thank you for joining if you did. My name is Nick Nightmare. This is my little buddy, my trusty tag team partner, my loyal companion, and the World Heavyweight Champion of Microphones, Blue the Snowball. Thanking you guys so much for tuning in tonight. This has been the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show right here on Sledgehammer TV. That's going to do it, and we are out of here, and we will see you next time for all the news, rumors, and highlights in the world of sports and entertainment. And sports entertainment, WWE Week has sucked so far. Hopefully NXT kicks it into gear tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.